what are some, and I think Sarah, you're first for this one. What are some interesting teaching and learning trends that you've noticed in higher education?
Certainly, the advent of artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence is a trend. I don't think that Gen AI is going away. I don't think Gen AI is a fad, the way some other educational technologies may have been a fad. And the trend that I'm noticing, particularly around that, is, again, I have no data on this, but students wanting to use Gen AI apps independently and with or without teacher permission. So this creates some conflict, right? If teachers don't want students to use Gen AI apps, and then students are going to use them anyway, that students taking up the use of these technologies as part of their own agency as learners. On one hand, I find it really exciting that students want to be agents of their own learning. On the other hand, it's a little disconcerting that there's an even bigger sort of shift in the locus of control away from me as an educator. If I say don't use this technology, it might not actually mean anything to those learners. So this idea of like distributing the agency for the learning such that we as educators recognize that we may not be able to control our learners and how they learn as much as in generations past. So this trend that I've noticed and the tension between educator and students and who has control over the learning process is something that I think we haven't yet come to a consensus on.
Isabelle?
Yeah, for sure. I'll go in a completely different direction. I mean, I teach in political science, and so I've noticed that a number of my colleagues are now doing really cool work with community. And so, in research, we're trying to engage more with community actors and integrating them into the research process. Well, we see that also with the teaching experience. So we have colleagues in political science department who are working together with the Harris Center to develop this really cool project where a number of undergrad and grad students are paid, because it's a paid fellowship, to work and reflect on the needs of certain small communities around Newfoundland and Labrador. And this is really cool because then you have this, why does this matter, right? So going back to things that we discussed about why it matters to them because they're living here. So they know that, for instance, local transportation, there's still work to be done. What could be done about local transportation to make it a better, more efficient public policy? And so there's this really cool application, or it's not just a case study in the open, but it's something that is meant to engage and make a change, hopefully.